Picking up where we left off, we're going to get into the strong and italic tags. At some point, I'm going to stop saying it. But just remember, we have our opening and closing tags, wrapping the content that we want to affect, that we want to mark up. The only thing that's different here is the specific choice of tag that we want to use. In this case, strong, and I for italic. The strong tag is a phrase tag. It defines important text by bolding it. And the I tag defines a part of the text that's in an alternate voice or mood. The content of the I tag is usually displayed as an italic. So let's just take a look at what we have here. We have one phrase here written. This is the strong tag. Again, they're next to each other because we didn't add anything else. And HTML ignores these empty lines and it just throws everything together unless you tell it otherwise. We see that this first part is wrapped in strong. That's why it's bolded, followed by regular text, and then another bolded part. And the same rules apply to this part down here, which is written in italics. Usually you'll see, I have a little comment here in the code side. It says, usually you will see HTML code written like this. There will be a P tag. This is the P tag I'm referring to in this statement. With a specific part, the strong tag written right there, or italic. This is what's called an inline element, and putting it inside a P tag is perfectly okay. Pretty much what I'm saying there, that for this purpose, while you're understanding HTML, since we haven't done much yet with structure, you can do things like this in this case. Inside of a P tag, you can add a strong tag, you can add an italic. That's no problem. Where the problems come in if you try to have a P tag and then within it you put an H1. That kind of defeats the purpose. We can try it out real quick actually. See this text right here? I'm just going to improvise right here and throw it in a P tag first, just to illustrate this issue. What did I do wrong here? I'm going to give you a second. Bum, 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 bum. If you said I forgot the slash on the P tag at the end, you're correct. Right here, I forgot to put a slash. And you need to do that to end the element. Okay, so now our paragraph is a P tag. And if I wanted to, in the middle of it, throw in a strong tag, gotta tell it where to end. That's no problem because strong tags are inline elements. And they're not gonna break the flow of the element. However, an H1 is a block element. We'll get into this in lesson 3. But if I were to change into an H1, look at what happens. Yes, it's wrapped inside of a P tag. So at least the whole thing is nice and contained. But the line broke, the paragraph specifically visually broke because the H1 tag took precedence and completed itself right there in the middle. So this wouldn't be the best thing to do. If you had to do something like this, you might as well have a closing P tag here. Leave the H1 alone and start a new P tag over here. Notice that there's no effective change in the visual, but it's a lot cleaner on the coding side. That is just a preview of things, kind of questions that we're going to get into later. But don't worry about that for now. Let me just grab some of this. And let's get into the challenge. Use a strong tag and italic tags below. Try mixing and matching. Feel free to pause the video here. I'm going to put in a few and move on. As long as you have one bold and one italic in this tiny paragraph, you're all set and ready to go. And we can move on. Don't forget your opening and closing tags. And make sure to add one of each so you can get the practice in. I'm going to check and move on. We got bold here and italics here. And we can move on to the next lesson.